I have it scheduled for 4 hours, but I don't think it's gonna take that long. 2 hours, 3 hours tops. If we go for it, I just put it for 4 hours just in case. All right, okay. Why do we need to have a point with the upper and lower and all of that? But I just don't. You should after 1895, and I'm gonna show you why they changed it up. And it was all about the indigenous people getting them out of their rightful place so that they can steal the land and become them or have power over them. So they gave themselves, when you read the Constitution, you got to be careful of the words they're using: people, subjects, citizens. So when you're saying you're a people, it just said, of course, the elective franchise and the right of participation in the offices of government. So that's what it says. So let's go back to the Articles of Confederation. The said states hereby severally enter into a third league of friendship with each other for their common defense, the security of their liberties, and their mutual and general welfare, binding themselves to assist each other against all force offered to or tax made upon them or any of them on account of religion, science, or any of pretense, whatever. So they created this to say, hey, we're gonna be working together to defend our liberties, our religious freedoms. They didn't have that before when they were under the rule of England. The better to secure and perpetuate mutual friendship and intercourse among the people of different states in this union, the free inhabitants, here it is, of each of these states, paupers, vagabonds, fugitives from justice accepted, shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of free citizens in the several states. So what are they saying? This is why I don't want to use the citizen stuff, right? The free citizens of the several states are who? Puerto Rico, Guam, all those little outlying, Mariana Islands, all those places, those are the citizens of the several states. So they gave you clear distinction, free inhabitant of these states. Then they talked about free citizens in the several states. So free inhabitant is the word of the day. That's it, free inhabitant. See, when they're treating you with these W-4 forms and all these other sets, you're not a free inhabitant. Because why? You're telling me I have to get all of these licenses, this, that, and the other, and if I don't get them, you're gonna fine me. I can't drive, that's not a free inhabitant. Then let's go down a little bit more. What does it say? I don't want to read the whole thing. I might have to do it. Oh, no. And people of each state shall free ingress and regress to and from any other state, and shall enjoy therein all the privilege of trade and commerce, subject to the same duties and positions and restrictions as the inhabitants thereof is retrospective, provided that such restrictions shall not extend so far as to prevent the removal of property imported into any state to any other state, of which the owner is an inhabitant. They're not using citizen, they're using inhabitant. Now, I was on the archives and I pulled out my great-great-great-grandfather's, he wrote a letter to the president. I think it was Andrew Johnson. Coincidentally, not coincidentally, but strangely enough, he was a Confederate soldier and he was asking for forgiveness. And when he wrote, he said, "My name is William Barber. I am a native of South Carolina, but now reside in Georgia." I think at that time, he was in Marietta, Georgia or something. He called himself a native. He didn't say citizen. Citizen, you can use it in your paperwork if you want to, but I can't tell you what the results of. All I know is the way my affidavit is drafted, I get no problem. So until something comes up, that citizen may be a good word, but as far as what I'm studying, it is not a good word to me in any form. So, any questions before I move on? because I got to get to this Ben Tillman speech. Your mics are open. Somebody in the chat.
What's up? What's up? Man, Sunday inspiration is in full effect. Who's out there? Let's see who's up there. No one in the chat. I see people on, but nobody's in the chat. How y'all doing? Hope your weekend's going good. It's a long one of those holiday weekends. It was let me turn this music down just slightly. It was slow week last week because everybody was taking a break for the holiday to get recharged from their jobs. I lived that life where I was looking forward to these extra days off, these 3-day weekends, these Thanksgivings and these Christmas holidays. I always was looking forward to those times because that gave me the time off so that I can get away from the job. And when I think back on that life, it's insane. Like, you got this you're only doing it because you feel like you have to do it. Hang on, I didn't even put my thing here up in the comments. You only have the job because you have to do it. Or you feel like you have to do it. You don't have to do anything, but you feel like it. It's called being a responsible adult. I got bills. I got this. I got that. But when you really go back to the beginning of all of that, why do you have bills? Why do you have all of these things you have to do? Who said this? Who came up with these ideas that you got once you come out of your mother's womb, you have to be taught to work for somebody? To have a job. Do y'all realize that your labor is being farmed? You like cattle, like they farm cattle for us to eat, right? Like we grow crops for us to eat. Your labor is being grown so someone could use it for their own gain. It's primed. It's being checked on. It's being manipulated. Do you realize when you really wake up and you see what's going on, your whole existence is being manipulated into a direction, and you feel like you have this option of choice. It's an actual sales technique that I was taught when I sold people. You never give them. Like, say if I want to come back and I want to meet somebody to talk about what I'm trying to sell, what I'll do is, hey, what would be good for you? Morning or evening? I don't say, can I come in the morning or can I come in the evening, because I give them the option to say no. But I give them morning or evening to give them an illusion of choice. It don't matter which one they pick. I just gave them illusion of they have control. They have a choice. So most people won't, their mind is so controlled that they'll just, morning is better, maybe evening. They'll stop and think about that. But really, they just been manipulated into picking one or the other. It didn't matter which one. In this society, you've been given the illusion of choice within a box. Well, you have a choice of what school you can go to and who you want to teach. Like in school, like high school, you get one class you don't like to teach, you switch it up. You get an illusion of choice. Oh, you don't like this, I go to, but you're still in the same environment. You're still where they want you to be. Oh, it don't matter what teacher's teaching you, as long as you're in this box and you get these credits so you can graduate. You're still in that situation where they want you to be. You've been plucked from the day you was born to be programmed to be pushed in a certain direction. Oh, well, I don't like public education. I'll go get some other form of education that's a little better, and it may be a little better, but it's still an illusion of choice. Because still in your mind, you feel like you need some form of education by some system out there that is acceptable to the job market for you to go work for. 99% of the people operate like that, by this illusion of choice that, okay, I don't like public school, they just trash, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna pay for my school. They don't care. What is the end result of all of that education? Is it really going to teach you how to go work for somebody or work for yourself, or is it teaching you how to work for someone? Which one? They don't care how you get the education, as long as you come to me for the job. Come to my business on the job. Somebody said, I like this one. Brian said, they on work release. Ain't that the truth? They on work release. Whenever you get these days off, it's work release. Similar to prison. You have the illusion of choice of what job you're going to take, right? I got to have a job. They don't care what job, as long as you pick a job. You see the news? They always talking about the job market, the unemployment rate, who's working, who's not. As long as the numbers of the unemployed are lower than the numbers of employed. They just want more people working than not. Why? Because if no one's working, there is no businesses being run. But guess what? They trying to thin the herd, baby. They trying to get rid of y'all. They trying to find a way they don't have to pay anybody to do their businesses now, because they tired of y'all. They tired of y'all getting sick. Y'all tired of y'all getting pregnant. I got to take a day off. Vacations. They tired of doing that. They switching to AI. They switching to artificial intelligence to run their business. Look at Walmart and Target now. You go in there, busy. They have maybe two live registers, real life people operating the register. The rest is self checkout. And we, like fools, we go use the self checkout and pay the same price for the groceries. Shouldn't they give us a discount if we're going to use self-checkout? Shouldn't we be offered an incentive to use self-checkout? We're not. We're paying the same price as if somebody was standing behind that counter bagging your groceries for you. But guess what happened? Because we're such a programmed society, we allow these places to do that to us and allow them to fire people so that they can make more money. See, their pockets are getting bigger and your pockets are getting smaller. Groceries are expensive now. We allow it. People, I gotta get out of here. I got things to do. I'm gonna go do the self-checkout. Is it really faster to do the checkout? No, it's not. It's not convenient at all. You gotta sit there and bag your stuff one at a time. Boom, boom. You're taking your time to bag this thing, these groceries, for them. They saving money and making you work at the same time, and you don't even work for Walmart or none of them. Y'all don't get how they gave you the illusion of control? That's just like what I just gave you the example. Oh, will you want me to come to your house in the morning and the evening to talk about this? No, they did the same thing. Oh, you have the option to go wait in that long line for that one person who's gonna bag your groceries for you at the same price, or you can go over here and self-checkout. Illusion of choice. They don't care where you go. Just as long as you're in there buying, it don't matter. That's why the title of these jobs don't care about you. None of them do. Let something happen to you tomorrow that you can't come to work. It might give you 1, 2, 3 days to think about it, but they'll have somebody in your place real fast, especially if you die. They have your job right up on the board. People come to your funerals. They'll eat at your funeral, talk about you. They'll say things like, ooh, she look like he's asleep. He looks like he's sleeping, she's sleeping. Oh, the funeral director did a great job. After you don't work yourself to death. And that's literally what people are doing, working themselves to death on somebody else's dream. That's what's going on. Y'all should be tired and fed up. But no, you're not. Because how do people keep going on and doing this? Because they keep justifying their BS. They keep justifying why they do it. I gotta do it. And they justify it because they look like everybody else. As long as they don't look different from everyone else, they're fine. Knowing that what they're doing is slow walk. It's slow death. Getting up day in, day out, clocking in on somebody's job that you don't like, working with people you don't like, working in an environment you don't like, don't even like the morals of the company that you work for, what they stand for. So you prostitute your happiness away for a paycheck. Yes, that's a strong word, prostitute. Or maybe I should have used sacrificed. But when you get right down to it, you are selling yourself. You're selling away your happiness. You're selling away your time. You're selling away your future. You're selling away your own legacy for someone else's dream. See, these are the types of talks that they don't want anyone having with you. We don't need big cities. We don't need all of the stuff that we have. Most of the stuff we have in our house, we don't need probably 40 to 50% or more of it. I would go to say 80% we don't need. It's a very small amount of things that we really need. We need proper nutrition, proper hydration, proper covering, home, and clothes. But they sold us an illusion of choice. You have the convenience of the big city, the Wi-Fi, the internet, the grocery stores, the convenience of I can get here, there really fast. But what did you sell yourself for to get all of that? What stress did you put yourself under to get all of that? Like, me and my wife was watching this video about Brazil, and the guy was talking about the cost of living there. And it made me realize how much we are being ripped off here. We're paying the most for groceries, and most of that stuff is processed. So we're not even buying real food to eat here. If you're shopping at a grocery store, and you go to these other countries, they're selling real food at a much cheaper cost. See, another illusion that you really living a life. You're not. We are so insulated from out there in the world through our miseducational system. We don't know the half of what's out there. We don't even know 25% of what's out there. If you've never left this country, you don't know 99.9% of what's going on in this out there. If you never left and traveled and seen other places, you don't know. You don't know where that guy was saying he had an apartment and he was only paying $250 a month. Well, Bachelor Pad, it was a small place, but that's all he needed. See, he got what he needed. Nothing, no excess. So if you don't have excess, there's no stress in trying to hold on to it. You see? So, man, you get that passport. This is why I teach y'all the passport. So y'all can go and see the world and see what's really going on out there. So y'all can see the truth. You'll start to see that a lot of the narratives and the teachings that you're getting from these miseducational systems or miseducational centers is not even close to what reality is out there. The people are not the same. Like I remember, growing up, Middle East this, terrorist that. But when I meet these people face to face, they don't give me the vibe of terrorism. They don't even give me a vibe that they even stressed out, like I see our people are. When I did cable, I would travel around. I met people from Somalia, Middle Eastern countries, Portugal, Brazil. And there was one thing common about all of the foreigners. There was one common thing that I had. They were all hospitable. They were all very neighborly. All very welcoming of me into their home. Didn't look at me like I was the N-word. They treated me like the Somalians. They would, I guess certain times in the afternoon towards the evening hours, they would sit around as a family and friends and have a meal sitting there. And it's all on this carpet with different dishes. I mean, multiple dishes sitting there. And they're just partaking, all of them eating and talking. They were speaking in their language, so I couldn't understand what they were saying. And they would always ask me to come sit down. Come sit down. Especially, I would get like I would come in and they were very friendly. But as soon as I said my name is Hakeem, it was like their eyes got, "What, Hakeem? Your name's Hakeem?" They would get excited. Why? Because they thought I was one of them. I was their brother. See, people in other countries see you as brothers and sisters, not as competition. In this country, we look at each other, we look at our neighbors and look at, what do they got? And we look at each other as competition. We're pitted against each other. Why is that? Is it because our sports persona here? All of the sports we're heavily invested in? But they into sports over there. They play football, which we call soccer. Football seems more appropriate for that, soccer to me. But very family unit, working together. And I mean, I'm not saying in their private time they didn't get along. They didn't have issues. Yes, they probably did. But in the face of the community, they always showed a family-friendly, united front. From what I can see. Now I go to our, fellow Americans, mainly Christian homes. How long you gonna be? And all they did was complain about something. I remember one time, this woman. It wasn't a guy, it was a woman. It was a Sunday. It was we worked on Sundays on rotation. On Sundays, we did nothing but service calls. Went into this woman's home, and she would complain from the moment I got out the van. She came up to the van complaining. Y'all stuff is garbage, blah, blah. I mean, I can't argue with that one, but she just complained about her TV didn't working. She couldn't get nobody to help her, blah, 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 blah. I mean, from the time I got out the van to the time I went into the door and fixed her problem. You know what her problem was? She had the batteries in the remote wrong. Now, the next call, which coincidentally, it was an older man, very humble older man. He was from here. He was American too. And he was an older man. He said, "I don't know, sir. I'm sorry to call you out here on Sunday, but I really don't know how to get my TV working." And guess what? The batteries was wrong in the remote. Now, here's the difference between the two calls. The first lady was nasty. She didn't even apologize. Boom. See, now as a service tech, I had the option to charge for the service call depending on what it was. It's a code. All I do is put a simple code. Customer issue. It's not the company's fault. And I think at that time it was like for a service call like $49, $50. Let's just say that. Can't remember exactly. I put the service call on her call. And she went short of calling me names. But the older gentleman, older guy, he was humble. Guess what I put on him? I put a no charge code on there. See the difference how you need to treat your service people with respect and honor, no matter what the situation is, because they have the ability to choose the cost of your service call, to say what's what. I couldn't see myself charging that old guy for that service call. He was so nice, and he apologized for me being at his house on a Sunday. But see, here's the thing. The lady that had the issue, what her issue was, she had a job. And that's what she was doing. Just the only time I get to watch TV because I got to go to work, blah, 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 blah. See, she had a job. She allowed the job to corrupt her spirit. Something she didn't want to do. So her only escape was to watch television. Whatever it is she wanted to watch. And she was so blinded by her depression of having to go back to work, and the TV was the end all be all, that she couldn't even look and see if the batteries were in wrong. So she could have fixed her problem completely just if she just cleared her mind. Now the older guy, I think he was going into the dementia stage. You could tell he was up there. What I'm saying, your job is dictating to you how much you eat, where you go on vacation, the days off you can take. It's controlling you. So do you really think you have choice? Do you really think you have choice in that situation? No. You have the illusion of choice. But where you do have a choice is how you're going to make money, how you're going to become prosperous. You have a choice in that, although you believe you don't. And the reason why you don't believe you don't is because you think it's too hard to start something else. I got to get something guaranteed. I need to secure money, the job. See, they got you believing jobs are the security. Y'all don't get it back in 2020 when they told you couldn't go to work? Y'all didn't realize that the jobs don't mean nothing? When there's a bigger agenda on the table? That same job that you love and hate at the same time will tell you to stay home. That same job will tell you to start taking stuff into your body if you want to come back there. Where's your choice? They don't care about you. They just care about what the next agenda tells them how to operate. And it's looking like we're heading down that same road again. It's starting to look like that. What you gonna do? You had part one, hang on part two. Maybe. Somebody said, they say I see them living in the richest cities. Yes. What are you going to do? You're going to continue to get up day in, day out, hating the job, instead of doing something about it? Because we all have the ability to do something about it. We just have to get over the hump of worrying about what people think about us, or get over the hump of fear of not having. I think that's number one. People fear of not being able to pay the bills, fear of being on the street, and that's the programming. Why do you think they allow so much homelessness in this country? They could house everybody, but why is it allowed? Why is it okay? Because a few people that bought into the system will see that and be in constant fear of being that, so they'll keep working for the system. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of them working together. Because housing could be cured overnight. There's so many empty properties out there, abandoned properties, so much land. They're giving how much money to Ukraine? And you mean to tell me they can't fix the homeless problem in this country? They don't fix it because they don't want to fix it. They need those homeless people out there so that you could be in constant fear of losing your job and being just like them. It's like being on a plantation and they make an example out of one of the slaves to keep the other slaves from running away. I know that just hit y'all hard. Some of y'all, it hit y'all really hard when I said that. You mean to tell me I'm really on a plantation? Hell yeah, you are. You just like livestock, baby. Yeah. You're right. There is no lack in this land. Discipleship ministry said there is no lack. It isn't. There is no lack, bro. Listen, out my backyard every day I see deer running back and forth here. Let them grocery stores shut down. Guess what I'm going to be doing? Them deer going to become meals. Okay? For me and for the family and the dogs. Get them, grind them up. Dogs get a little, we get a little. Hey, I get out there and start growing stuff. Man, there's no lack. The only reason why I lack is we bought into the hype of the big city life. That's the only reason why y'all got lack. The big city life. If they ain't providing it, you ain't got nothing. That's why people when COVID hit, people was in the stores fighting over toilet tissue. They were fighting for man-made products. What happened to just simple washing your ass with a washcloth? If you run out of toilet paper, as long as you got water to wash in. Shoot, if you got a lake out there, yo, jump in there and wash off. It's a way to do everything. So I don't need to worry about running out of toilet paper. You might want to reconsider using that toilet paper anyway. It's full of chemicals. Wiping chemicals on your behind. There's only lack in the matrix. That's where lack is formed, because lack motivates people to keep this matrix going. If you disconnect from that system, you realize there's so much out here. What were people? What they say we've been on this planet billions of years. What were people doing before they had cities to keep us going? There's people still living the way they did centuries ago, and they don't have all of the construction and the internet and the cell phones as we do, and they surviving. So they could build a plantation the size of, say, with the money they sent to Ukraine, right? Do y'all realize God made this world so perfect that when something dies, something comes alive? It's called the cycle of life. It's the cycle of life. When something goes, something is replaced by something else. Do you know your life is like that? Your finances like that? Your job is like that? When that job goes, it is replaced by something else. When I got fired all those years ago from Walmart and I was all distraught about it, guess what it got replaced with? Me being in business by myself, for myself. Yeah. I didn't see it at first. I was like, man, I'm going to do this, scratch my head. But once I went after something that could pay me and put me in control of what I'm making in my time, paying bills became very easy then. I lost that stress because I didn't have to wait on a paycheck. I was getting paid every day. Cutting hair, I was getting money every day. I just had to learn how to manage that. When you work in a job, you're giving them credit. 1 week, 2 weeks. Some places don't pay you for a whole month. See, the way our business run, I don't do that. Because we have the technology like Zelle and all of that, I could pay every time we get paid for a job. They get paid for a job. They get their money, right? They the first ones I pay is the workers. Everybody else is second. Because I got to keep them happy, keep them on the road. Put money in their pocket. So ain't nothing like you driving down the road, money ding ding in your bank account. See, I want them to know what that feel like. That's what business owners get paid daily. People who have their own are getting money. Do y'all realize that your business that you're working for are getting money every day? Walmart taking in millions on this weekend alone. They'll probably clear about 10 million. Because y'all went in there and bought your barbecue, your grills, your charcoal, all that. They get money every day. But then they pay you every 2 weeks. A fraction of what they made that day. Do y'all see the game? Do y'all see the play? Do y'all see the con? They get you in a position to be comfortable with crumbs while they making millions. I know they make millions because I work for them. This is back in the 90s where they were telling us the gross they made on a Sunday was $2 million. So here in this day and age, fast forward to 2023, come on. See, when you see the numbers, then you realize how much you getting paid. See, y'all don't see the numbers. Y'all don't see the gross revenue that your company is making. See, my drivers, we send them our rate contracts, what we actually got paid for that job, and they get a percentage of that. They see what we make. I don't hide it. Why am I hiding it for? What am I hiding what I make from my employees? So they're not even my employees, my contractors. What am I hiding that for? Hey, this is what this load is making us. This is what you can pay. We all agree, right? You agree your portion. I agree to my portion. Some people say, well, you shouldn't show. I said, why not? Now listen, man. Till I find some negative result from showing them what we're making, I'm going to continue that. I don't see the negatives there. I think companies, if you got people working with you, they should be upfront with everything. If you're honest about it. And said the plantation is already here, been here for 1,000 years. Yep, you're right. Yeah, he said played. How about you being pimped? There's both of them. They played and pimped. The city is the only place of black. That's the real form of God, but denying the power within. Right. The universe is infinite. Nature is abundant. Absolutely. It's abundance everywhere. If you stop and really think about it, and you look at all the stuff you have, you could probably throw away most of it and make your life really simple. These jobs are killing you. And they're killing you spiritually because it's taking up a lot of your time to be told what to do every day. Because if you don't do exactly how that job asked you to do it, they will get rid of you and get somebody else to do it. This is why they have to prime you, get you ready for the workforce through the miseducational system. That's why they do that. That's why the miseducational system is there to prime you for that life. Get you ready for the sawmill. the factory. That's what it's for. That's reality. I don't care how many degrees you got, how many PhDs you got. I don't care how much money you making on that job. Oh, well, what about doctors and lawyers? Man, those are some of the most stressful jobs you could have, being a lawyer and a doctor. Yeah, they make a lot of money, but there's a big price they pay for that. And there's a hefty college fees. So the slaves are sitting on different levels. You got your lower tier slaves and you got your higher tier slaves. Still slaves. And they preach to you and make you believe you're doing it for a good cause. It's called the miseducational system. They miseducate you lawyers how to practice law, and they miseducate doctors on how to heal people, because they're not healing nobody. All this time with all this technology and AI and this and that, you mean to tell me they can't have a cure for cancer? No. Within the system of the pharmaceutical world, there is no cure by their definition, because they cannot patent. Because let me help y'all understand how that works. When they come up with these so-called remedies for any illness, they get it patented and they get a right to it. So you cannot patent what nature is. So therefore, in their system, there is no cure. They're not lying. Within that system, there isn't a cure. But what they don't tell you, under God's rule and under God's spiritual nature, there is a cure for all things. See, it's how you reference it. Right? See, if you reference one of their patent disease names like diabetes, heart attack, these names are patented. These are names that they own. So if you say, I got a cure for diabetes, you are just infringing on their copyright. I'm on another subject now. I'm on my teaching mode. So you can't say you got a cure for diabetes. So what you have to say is, through God's law, through God's nature, I got a cure for what you call insulin resistance. Or some type of imbalance in my body. See, remember what I told y'all and taught y'all? Whatever they define, stay away from. It's the same thing in the medical. Whatever they're defining, stay away from that. See, you can heal anybody if you wanted to with the right natural remedies. Just stop. The people that got in trouble by the pharmaceutical, it's because they were using their patented names and saying they were curing that, and they weren't curing that, because that's their name. That's what they, just like black, white, African American, all these names they came up with, those are their names. So you start using their names, and that's their jurisdiction. Don't use their name. Only use the name that God gave it. Y'all let me take y'all back to the Garden of Eden. What was the commission of Adam? He was naming things. He was naming the animals. He was giving it all a name. The animals. See, and he said, let the trees and the fruits be your meat. In some translations of the Bible. So everything was placed there for you to be healed from. But see, people are so programmed that by these names, you got this, you got that. See, they just labeled you one of their names. And said, oh, they got something to relieve the symptoms, but not relieve the cause. Stop being labeled. and you'll be healed. There's a cure for whatever discomfort you're going through. There is. But it's not a cure for whatever they calling it within their confines of their world. See, that's why the Bible says be in the world but not of the world. Be around it but don't participate in it. See, that's the issue. We're participating in these jobs. You're participating in that. You're taking on that. It's there within the confines of their system. They're promoting this to you. And you're choosing to take part of it. And your churches are encouraging you to take part of it. How do your churches encourage you? Because they have this one got this education, he's going off to this college, that college, blah, blah, blah. He gonna be this, he gonna be that. They promote that. But none of them ever promote you to be self-sufficient, as the Bible says. To be prosperous. And live really good. And the reason why they can't see it, because they don't even understand how to even operate their own churches. They all go and get these churches and set up 501c3s and fill out paperwork to be governed. So how can you take advice from a place who don't even know how to operate properly under God? See, you have to check where you're getting your advice from. And if you notice, most of the advice you have that put you in this box, this painted you into this corner that you're in now, it came from sources that are working to promote the longevity of the working class people. That's it. They're only there to promote that. That's what they advertise daily. You just say, what do you want to be when you grow up? Who you want to work for when you grow up? See, it's never, what business do you want to start when you grow up? Imagine that idea pumped into your child from the day they're born, and then one day you wake up and you try to change their mind. It's very hard. I tell you that firsthand. And that's when reality hit me like a brick. Like, man, it's my fault. I sent this child into this place to be taught how to be a worker. I did it. It's not their fault. God gave them a way. Sacrificed their mind over to the system that was going to make them a perfect worker. I know. Oh, you need this. And you have all your so-called astute people, your prominent people are out there promoting this stuff. They part of the same game. They're the pawns. Helping direct traffic to create more workers. They're the pawns. Because he got a degree. He's the one who said that. See, we get validations to people who've been educated by the miseducation system. And they sit on their chair looking all what's the word I want to use? All uppity. That's not the word I want to use. All proud. Yeah, I got my degree here. This and this and that, and they're sitting there, and you and the most want to be like this, unhappy that you got to go back to work on Tuesday. Some of y'all got to work today. Yeah, they remember it was a thing where weekends was guaranteed to be off. Shoot, not anymore. Not anymore. Man, all right. Got some stuff coming up. I'm working on, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm working on a seminar for the end of this month. Got a couple seminars coming up in October. Details coming. And a webinar. I gotta update some stuff. All right, so I guess that's the end of my Sunday morning rant. Y'all heard enough of me trying to encourage you guys to do better for yourselves. Because one day these jobs can just come to you and say, hey, we don't need you no more. I know that happened to me a couple of times. Worked my butt off and we got to downsize. Yeah, it's not a good feeling. All right, with that being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go, and if you got something you're working on, some business you want to work on, some way to make money, do it now. Turn the TV off or whatever you're doing, all of the entertainment, and set aside some time to it. Just take an hour and work at it. Just 1 hour. Start with an hour. And do that every day. 1 hour every day. Commit. You can do an hour because you do an hour with all. Some of y'all do an hour just swiping through your phone. You can do an hour. 1 hour. Just put it on a timer. 1 hour. Every day. Work towards your business. If you trying to build a brand for yourself on YouTube, take some time. Just make a video. It ain't got to be perfect. It ain't got to be perfect. Just make it, put it out there. Don't worry about it. It'll work. Everything works. Everything works. I think it is lazy thinking, lack of awareness of self, and programmed fear solidifies it all. Yep, it is. Well, I guess lazy thinking. I look at lazy thinking like this. I don't think it's so much lazy thinking. I think it is people are so filled with these misconceptions of life and how they're supposed to make money that the real truth of how to make the money can never get through. I mean, just imagine working for somebody 40, 50 hours a week and then trying to come home and work on your own thing. That's a tough thing to break through. When you're exhausted, you just got to push through it though. And some people just don't have the willpower to break through it. That's why most people don't do it. I see it all the time. I know people with great ideas, and I know they'll be great at what they do, but they can't push through their own excuses that they give themselves. They have the ingredients. See, in my cabinet right now, I got the ingredients to make a cake. But the cake will never come through unless I put those ingredients together, whip them together, work on it, then eventually put it in the oven and cook it. See, some of y'all got partial ingredients put together and only got one ingredient left, and that is to put the damn thing out there and let people to see it. Man, I was checking, and there's very few people that can do it. In all the years that I've tried to motivate people to do something, I may even see maybe one or two people actually work through their times. Like I was checking out someone who was motivated by something I said, and I looked, they had 103 reels already. They started this year. See how fast it goes? You see how fast when you get started? Shouts out to let me add that. She did a super chat of $20. Thank you. Y'all know y'all can donate through the program. Thank you for the $20, my brother. Theoretically, God, they bless. Peace. prosperity and extreme wealth to you. May that come back to you 10 times. I'm gonna leave it up there. 100. That's so they started the beginning of the year, maybe a little bit after the beginning of the year, and they already got 103 in. And you telling me you can't get it done? What? Everybody can do this. You all have the power to change your life drastically in the direction of super prosperity. All of you have it, can do it. Now the difference is whether you can do it or not can, will do it. Will you push through the opposition of the people around you not supporting you, or trying to tell you not to do it, or calling you crazy? That's your test. You got to push through that. You got to punch through that wall. You got to punch through the wall of losing friendships that don't support you, or when they come around, they're distracting you. Do you notice? Let me get it. Y'all might identify with this, what I'm about to say. Whenever you get ready to do something very important for your business or what you're trying to move forward, someone usually calls right when you're about to get started or as you started to distract you. Guess what? That's the person you need to cut off or limit your association with, at the least. That's how I know who I need to cut off. Because when I get ready to get deep in something, boom, they call it. And they ain't talking about nothing. Like, whoa. See, the universe gives you clues on who to cut off. It ain't hard. It tells you, did that, cut that off. Cut off. See, you about to work on us? Here they come. Cut it off. And you ain't really got to tell them to cut off. You just got to say, hey, I'm working on something. And watch their reaction. They'll take it personal. Oh, well, yeah. See, they shouldn't. No one should take it personal that you're trying to better yourself. No one. When you're trying to better yourself and move yourself to a next level, and if anybody takes that personal because you trying to limit your conversation with them, that's a manipulator and that's a selfish person, because they don't care about your future. They don't want you to be there. You see? They don't want you to be there secretly, because anybody that's really interested in your future and what you're trying to create will be like, whoa, my bad. Go ahead, do what you do. We'll talk later. They don't have no problem just putting down that phone. When people are trying to make themselves more important than you not being broke, because that's important. Because if you can't pay their bills, then who's gonna pay them for you? Nah, you got to. See, that's the trick that some people get played with. Don't get played by that. I set aside time to do what I got to do, and I will not let anything distract me from that. You just got to be upset. But I know one thing: when you reach that mountaintop and you got your, I know where my aspirations are. When my company is a multi-billion-dollar company, when I'm flying on private jets, on a yacht, on these fancy vacations, I got the house with the maids and the maids and the people cleaning my home and cooking for me. That's where the level I'm trying to go. I don't need all of that, but that's what I want. I want to, before this body shut down, I want to experience that. It's okay. Doesn't make me greedy. I just want to experience that life. Do you want to experience that life? What life do you want to experience? Whatever it is you want to experience, don't let anybody make you feel ashamed of it. You gotta live in that area. You have to live unapologetically, and people are. There is no way you're gonna get around where people will not be offended by you trying to be super successful. That just comes with the territory. And the reason why it offends them, because it goes against their own programming of staying broke or being a brokey. Yeah, don't see? Y'all notice how broke people always talk about the rich? Whether it be good or bad, they always have a conversation about the rich. But they never have a conversation about they themselves being rich. They don't see themselves being rich. They only see other people. They see richness outside of them, not in them. See, I see richness in me, all around me. The things that I thought I could not afford 20 years ago is easy for me to afford now. All not because I made more money, because I changed my perception of money. I changed my perception of what wealth is. I didn't look at it as that's too much. I would say, oh, it costs that much. Oh, that's how much it costs. Oh, it only costs that. See, y'all gotta try to start changing your language. Oh, it only costs $100,000. Okay. See, some of y'all look at when y'all buying plane tickets. Oh, that costs a lot. You said, oh, it only costs that much. Change your perception. See, once you change your perception, that's when more flows in. Expand, having a perception of expansion, of what the possibilities are. My money is endless. Same thing with your job. Change the possibilities that, hey, this job is just a side hustle until I get my real job, my business going. See, the job should be the side hustle. And you put that off until when you start making that money, the money you want to make to support yourself. Wow. See, no cutoff. You're right. You gotta cut. You gotta cut. You gotta cut. You gotta cut off the distractions. And that comes by way of the things you're doing, the habits you have, and the people you're associating with. And a big part of it is the people you associate with. Not just association in physical, but in the mind. Oh, I gotta call this person and tell them this. Is that conversation gonna push you forward to making the money? Somebody said, oh, how much is 100,000 when there's infinite supply? That's right. It's a drop in the bucket. When you look at the grand scheme of 100,000 is very little. I know a guy named Rich that thinks poor. Make that make sense. Yeah. Let's see. All right, y'all. All right. Somebody say, great show as always. Thank you, Discipleship Ministry. Thank you, brother. All right, y'all. I think I gave y'all something to think about. Until Tuesday night at 7. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all.